Welcome back, crew, to session 17 of Pandemonium. The crew, let's get a bit of a recap. The crew has just finished their first diplomatic summit, we'll say, after working with the Squad 7 of the High Arbiters to rescue the Emperor from the Temple of Thana and the luminescence that were chasing him, as well as keeping him out of the hands of General Thrax. The group decided to hold a summit for who would have the Emperor's body without having to come to a bloody conflict to obtain it. With this, the group decided to play a little bit of politics and ultimately decided to kind of play the factions against themselves. And with that, they worked or kind of discussed with multiple different factions. First, meeting with Commander Arx, who's representing General Thrax, and finding out that the Arx did not want to win this competition for the Emperor's body, saying that if they could have gotten the Emperor on their own terms and announced it when they were ready, it would have been worthwhile to have him. But now it could put an undue target on their back. He recommended giving him to the Loyalist. The Loyalist, he felt, since they don't share the same vision of one world, one empire, one emperor, that he and the Loyal or the Imperialists do, he thought it'd be easier to kind of segment or muddy the waters a little bit by giving the Loyalist the Emperor's body. With that, Arx kind of made his case to the crew. And at the same time, Arx was making his case to part of the Gavels. Jeet's mother, Haruna, was making her case to Jeet, indicating that the Lady Akina had promised to elevate her to a clan elder if she was able to secure this deal and bring the Emperor's body back to the Imperialist camp. And with that, the group kind of negotiated with amongst each other, kind of figuring out which way they wanted to go, and so ended up deciding to favor the Loyalist for receiving the body. They did try to make a deal with Haruna before the negotiations began to pretty much not fight for the Imperialist side, to have the body and potentially ally with General Thrax. Haruna mentioned that she couldn't support this endeavor due to what her family would lose, but if they were able to bring General Thrax to their side, the Imperialists would welcome that and definitely be appreciative for the efforts. With that, though, the group went into their negotiations, coming in fairly well. We're able to successfully negotiate for the Loyalist, we'll say, with Will coming in with some compelling arguments. In mockery, infuriating Prince Aterza, one of the representatives for the Imperialist that was present at the council, by calling on Mockery's own infernal nature and the gods that he represents, and indicating that the prince would not have done as well as his father in dealing with those infernal gods and the plague that gripped Eteria a millennia ago, indicating that the Loyalists who had kind of a Terror's own vision would be the best people to protect his body. With that, Aterza was furious, promising that this would not stand, and storming out of the room. Haruna Abe commented that the Loyalists have sided with the infernal gods and were forever tainted for this, before leaving the room as well. And the group saw pretty much the prince's escort fly off on their wyverns, furiously just dashing away from the scene. With that, that's about where we'll pick up. So you guys have you see that Commander Arx is still present within the room, as well as the Loyalist representative, the Great Lord of Clan Mube, is present as well. And you kind of see in this room too, Mulisa, the head kind of monk of the monastery, and she looks pretty concerned and worried. Where Arx, as you guys saw last time, looks like a kid at Christmas. He's supposed to he definitely looks like the days went the way he'd wanted to. And as you see that, you do see Arx kind of stand up for the table and just go, well, I believe our business is concluded for the day. When you all commit, you commit. With that, you do see him kind of exit the room. The Great Lord of Clan Amube, Asin Amube, does come over to the group. He looks no role sense mode. He looks wary but happy. You do see him kind of eyeing you guys. Mockery, you do see he intentionally avoids looking your way. But he does nod to both you all as well as Barrick from the Arbiter Squad 7. And he goes, "You all have my thanks. Bringing the Emperor back to his home is something that my honor dictated must be done. We know that the Chancellor, along with our healers and everyone, will do what they can to make sure the Emperor is safe, as well as find any crew that we can outside of finding those soul pieces and bringing him back. I wish you had done it in a way that didn't taint us with the infernal, but that is done."
It's a simple matter of just us believing that you're the ones who are most likely to keep them safe and not do anything untoward while we're gone.
Well, you have my word that we will not do anything untoward. We will protect the Emperor with everything that we have. I wish I could say that this would endear you to the Loyalists, but after your outburst, and you do see him look at you for once, Mockery, kind of look up into your eyes and get those outbursts. We will have to distance ourselves from you all as well.
Mockery is currently not looking him in the eye, actively looking away.
Well, hopefully, if we do our jobs correctly, all this will be blown over very soon, and it won't be something that anybody will have to worry about.
Well, praise be to Nah if that be true. But as I said, you have my thanks, and we appreciate the efforts you have undertaken. You see him give a very short kind of nod, almost like a bow nod, but very, very minimal. He does start to leave the room.
Great Lord, if I may. When I attended Mokulan Academy some years ago, I was close friends with one Juba Imobe, but I haven't seen him since then. I was wondering if you've seen him around, if he's returned to Cabo, or if you've heard any tale where he might be or what he might be up to. Quite a clever inventor, and I'd love to know how he's doing.
I have unfortunately not heard tale of him since he's exiled from Mokulan. He no longer serves our clan. He's clanless. Something that you may be familiar with. Last I heard, he was working for the Vile Queen, Zyrina.
Well, that's more information than I have, so thank you for that. I'll keep an eye out. And despite being clanless, he and Tegan, you can decide if this is true or not, but I'm going to say it regardless. He spoke highly of you, Great Lord, and part of his words is why I spoke to my group in support of you, giving the Loyalists the body. So, he's a good fellow, if, a little crazy and willing to go for ideas that are out of the ordinary.
You see him nod and say, well, I'm glad he has not forgotten his family and his clan. If you see him, tell him I wish he lives out his days in good health. He may have forgotten his clan, but his clan has not forgotten him.
Sound like it hurt him to say that.
Terry is all about the clan and family. If you're not serving your clan and your family, you're not really doing much.
And who did you say Juba is with last he heard?
Oh, Queen Zaina. So Queen of Codinia.
Right. Okay. Good to know.
And you know from kind of what you know from him as well. Queen Zaina is really big on modernization. Definitely would snatch up somebody that has kind of good a knack for inventing. With that, you do see he goes, well, I will take my leave. Good fortune to you, Gavels, and may you find the true gods. He turns and kind of hobbles away.
Once he's out of earshot, Mockery's gonna look to the Gavels and say, "Are we alone?" First, I'll ask. Is it just the Gavels?
You guys can definitely kind of leave. Melissa's still there. She's kind of just like she's almost sitting. And G.U. recognizes pose. Her eyes are closed. She's definitely aware of you guys. You can almost see her doing like a little bit of a meditation to center herself. But she's not really bugging you guys. You could definitely kind of leave, step outside, and get some privacy.
So Mockery would kind of nod to the Gavels' head movement to do that, and to those who would follow, he would say, like, I was a little worried I might have truly went overboard with my provocation, but I believe that couldn't have worked out more perfect. By us being more separated from the Loyalists, that makes it where once Daria turns against them, in order to unite the Daria, we won't be associated with their enemy. Well, we won't be associated with the Loyalists, who will be the enemy. So that's a positive, at least. And you can definitely see he looks a little nervous. Sorry.
I suppose that's true, but it's not like we won't be associated with them. Like, people will still think that we support them. It's just that they won't be supporting us. I don't know. It's what's done is done. It's time to move on. I want to get this done as quickly as possible.
I'm eager to discover the ramifications of our decisions. This will be a great case study in our ability to affect international politics.
I feel like I'm gonna be sick when you say it like that.
Hey, the best way to not get sick is to overcome a sickness and learn and have your body become resistant to it.
Vincero, help me.
Perfect. So you guys are able to. I'm not sure what you all do after this day. You do kind of from around the monastery. You can find that both the representative from or Great Lord of Clan Amube has already kind of gathered the Emperor's body, taken his escort, and left, kind of riding hard for Terran. Commander Arx is still present within the monastery. He'll be leaving in the morning. Along with advisor Haruna as well. She will also be leaving in the morning with her escort. The mood around the monastery fairly somber. Just concerned almost a little bit. You do like pretty much the next moment you are alone, you do get approached by Melissa. And she kind of looks at you and goes, kind of like that same like look of concern, but almost like almost got her teaching face on a little bit. And she kind of like scratches her snout and goes, well, how do you think that went today, young one?
I think that it went not the greatest for the Empire, but not too bad for anyone in particular. It buys us time. It buys, by us, I mean everyone here who's working to unite the factions and to bring the Emperor back. It gives us some time. It prevented anyone already powerful faction from becoming too powerful. So in that sense, it was a little equivocating, but acceptable.
I believe I've heard you chant one world, one empire, one emperor before.
Yes, of course. I believe in it.
Curious. All I will say, I've heard from the first flame, your trials went brilliantly, that you were even able to commune with Noah. I am proud of you for that you'll be a true flame keeper. Beware the company you keep. You have one who slit the throat of a man who was already knocked unconscious, another who howls praise for the infernal gods and disrespects those of the Imperial blood. I trust you, young one, but these are not the companions I would have chose.
I understand your concerns, Melissa, and I will keep that in mind. Nar's fire burns brightest in my heart, and it will overshadow any other influences that attempt to sway me. But still, I have seen their skills be very useful in times when I myself could not be. So, for the Empire, for the Emperor, the return of the Emperor, the true Emperor, for Ateria, I am allied with them.
I've enjoyed teaching you. I feel you have great promise. I'm looking forward to seeing where your flame will burn, what you can bring into this world, what your passions will create. Go, remember the teachings of this monastery. It'll be, enjoy your training under the Flame Keepers. But now I must meditate on the day's events and see the best path forward for the monastery.
Teacher, before you go, how do you think that went?
I am concerned. Thrax's representative he seemed like he was there out of obligation. From what I've heard of Thrax and what I've heard of his commander, they are both clever and cunning. I saw none of that today. For the Imperialist, Terza is young, impulsive, strong, but the fire of youth has not burned through him yet. The Loyalist, men following a platitude because they feel they should, versus men leading. I am uncertain about how today unfolded. I feel everyone had their game, but I have not understood the full rules.
Regarding High Prince Aterza, he is far too impulsive right now to be a ruler. But I myself, do not have enough years under my belt to know how to make that right. He has so much power. What will teach him?
His father could. His mother seems she has tried. Once you put a crown on a man, it's very hard to tell him what to do.
Yes. You are right that if his father was back in the picture. Anyway, I must also consult with the others and talk more about what happened today. Thank you, teacher. And I will go tomorrow start my training with the Flamekeepers.
Good. I look forward to hearing from the first flame on your progress. And with that, you do see her kind of walk down the hall, but definitely a little bit slower, almost lost in thought. The rest of the crew, definitely the monastery is pretty somber. But you guys do hear in the mess hall a bit of, not commotion, but a bit of revelry, we'll say. and definitely, if you follow the noise, you find Olo and Drix just. It feels like they probably spent this whole because they weren't invited alongside Barrick and even Sarah into the delegation, so they feel like they've been probably drinking the last couple hours. They are chanting songs. Barrick is with them along with the rest of Squad 7, and like Olo is trying his best to try to get Barrick to celebrate. Where Barrick is kind of pouting a little bit. Not pouting. He looks grumpy. But he's still sitting with his men, looking grumpy, and kind of like part of the revelry, but not really celebrating along with them. But Olo and Drix are just going at it. If whoever kind of comes in first, they will definitely like pour a mug and like push it your way. Come, drink with us, drink with us. We've done what we set out to do.
Belric bolts over there as quick as possible and grabs a pint. Enough with this politics. Time for some drinking.
You see Olo nods. He goes, You can see him whisper. He goes, Barrick thinks he's sending a message by saying we can't come to these negotiations. Hell, I would have paid not to go.
I need to get that reputation with these guys. And I point over to them.
Drink up. Today is our last night here. He kind of points over to Barrick. Barrick is sending us over to Soga. He wants to aid the refugees coming in until the tournament comes by. So, the first light, we ride out, but tonight, we drink. Because we set out to find the Emperor. We found the Emperor. Along with the Gavel's help, we brought him, and we wanted to give him to the Loyalists, and we gave him to the Loyalists. Heard it got a little bit spirited in there, but hey, we got what we wanted to do, right?
I'll kind of shrug at him and I'll say, mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
And I'll cheers.
He'll look around at I don't know if the rest of the group has arrived, more have arrived too, but he'll ask kind of the group as a whole. I heard tell that you want to compete in Kosir's tournament. Is that true?
On the agenda.
Oh, good. We'll be competing as well, but I don't know if I've mentioned this. And this is definitely something he's mentioned, probably like you've known him or spent like a week with him pretty much. And he's probably mentioned this a lot every time he's been a few too many in his cups. He goes, I've met Kosir. Kosir and I, we've drank together. Kind of pulls out his own little medallion with kind of Kosir's image or kind of his religious symbol upon it. And he goes, we are good friends. He has a representative coming to Akara to recruit for the tournament. You all should speak with him. Get a chance to put yourself in there, play through his trial, and earn your spot with him.
I would drink to that.
You see him raise his glass up and goes, I would love to meet you all upon the sands. From the stories I've heard about you all from Barrick himself, as well as just all the crazy rumors you spawned, it'd be a fun fight. You all would lose, but it'd be a fun fight.
Win or lose, I'm sure we could all learn a lot from engaging each other in combat. We all have unique styles that are different and offer a lot of different tactical opportunities.
You see Barrick actually kind of nods his head at that. He kind of like pipes up and goes, that is true. I'd love to see the style that you all have developed. And Olo kind of nods along and goes, you, Wisteria, drink? Have I seen you drink this whole week?
I have a few different beverages that I enjoy, but not too many. The taste of alcohol is not my favorite, but with the right compliments, it's tolerable.
Okay. All right. Well, I won't push you, but it'll be fun. Learning and all that. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't, but we'll get to bust our knuckles, wrap our weapons, and have a good time and entertain the masses and hopefully bring peace.
What have you heard about the prize of winning the tournament?
I'm not sure if Kosir's defined it. Knowing him, gold, maybe some of his nectar. Heavenly. But I'm not sure if he's made that known yet. Yeah. Find him in a car in a week. He kind of looks over and goes, he's one of Kosir's own satyrs. Just make sure that you tell him that we sent you and look for a man named Arapo. You'll usually find him in one tavern or another, spreading joy when he goes.
Rapo, and he'll be in Akara in a week?
In a week, yep.
Will we know him when we see him?
Oh, hard not to. He'll have a drink in his hand. He's a satyr. It seems like to take a long step. He goes, well, the satyrs are Kosir's own servants is a bad word, but his own revelers, we'll say. They spread his message and just bring joy where they go and bring celebration and the gift of drink.
Sounds like my kind of people.
You go complete the challenge and hopefully we'll meet upon the sands. But with that, yeah, the Olo, Drix, and because some of the Squad 7 can definitely kind of like getting into their cups, their drinking as the night goes on, trying to bring some sense of kind of revelry with accomplishing getting the Emperor, finding the Emperor, and getting him safe. And with that, though, unless anybody has anything to say to Squad 7, they're going to kind of drink the night away. Well, some of them will drink the night away and then be prepared to kind of ride at first light to Soga.
I'll have a couple of drinks during the night, but not too many.
I think Will would, but he's like, you could probably tell his heart's not in it. He's still nervous about how things went today.
Definitely, they revel away. Pretty much just like this barrack has a couple, probably the same as kind of a stereo that side. Just a few to kind of join in, kind of keep the camaraderie going with Squad 7 and the Gavels too. But definitely you see like he's almost like planning their next moves, and you definitely see him kind of speaking with even Sarah, kind of going over what supplies they need to pick up, what resources, medical supplies, food, and things they need to gather for both their journey to Soga and help with the refugees. But eventually, though, the night ends, and first, go ahead.
There is something Mockery would like to do, and it is something he's going to drag Jeet along for.
Oh, there was also something Jeet wanted to do. So unless we are going to the same location.
Is it Jeet's mother?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same location. So who would approach who first? Would Jeet approach Mockery first, or would Mockery approach Jeet first?
No, Jeet is like walking towards the Imperial encampment, and I think that's where like Mockery will just see him going, and then he might be like, "Oh, okay, you're heading in that direction anyway."
Mockery with his speed will catch up to Jeet and go,
My friend, may I accompany you? I'd like to speak to your mother.
What is it? May I ask, what is it you want to say?
I would like to clarify my provocations earlier so we can maintain a healthy and... I forget the buzzword. I had it written down. A good relationship with the Imperialists.
I see. Well, I was intending to go there and, well, perhaps destabilize our relationship with the Imperialist. But it would be good to have you with me then in that case. I did not... And then he'll start walking again in that direction. I did not particularly like how unstable the High Prince is.
He is clearly a skilled young man. What I said had a merit of truth in it, or he wouldn't have reacted in such a way. Which is an issue. He merely needs guidance. I just worry who can give him such when he is at the top of the top. Prince.
That is also my concern. Does his mother and his advisors have any influence over him? I wish to discuss with my mother this issue.
Yes. Given the fact his absolute display in the skies with those wyverns, it is a matter of freedom, what he did there. I don't think anyone truly controls him.
Influence. I hope we can find people who can at least influence him. Otherwise, he would make for too dictatorial an emperor.
Yes. Who knows? Perhaps we can have some sway with him.
We can hope, yes.
You represent one of the major gods of this land. No, I represent him.
Well, perhaps the less we discuss the infernals in the tent, the better. And then approaching the guards, I will say, I would like to request an audience with the Lady Haruna Abe, please. Or the advisor, Haruna Abe, please.
You see, like, for a moment they pause, but you hear just kind of a tired, send my son in. And you see, like, they unbar their spears and allow you to pass in. You see your mother, she looks tired. She, like, looks like, before you saw her, like, kind of like, looks tired, but a little bit more familiar, if that makes sense. Like, she looks tired, but she's sitting, doesn't have that kind of, like, regal posture that she's developed. She looks worn out from the day. She sees you and kind of gives, like, a small smile, then sees Mockery, the smile goes, and she goes, the day continues, it looks. It's always good to see my son, but I feel you've come here with more to discuss.
We have, yes. There were a couple of loose ends, I think, that we can tie up a little bit. Perhaps give you some peace of mind. Perhaps not. Let us find out. Mockery first. You have the floor.
Of course, I brought an offering, a drink. Yeah.
Mockery, give me a diplomacy check.
All right. I feel worried about this one. I'm not sure why. I definitely feel worried. 19.
She looks at you and she says, I thank you for the thought. But after today's display, after your words with the High Prince, after the loss for the Imperialist, I can't in good conscience take this with what is to come.
A loss for the Imperialists. But a grand opportunity for the Prince. Absolutely.
You're breaking up a little bit, Burger.
Oh shoot, that might have been.
Yeah.
A loss for the Imperialists. Perhaps. But it comes with great opportunity. May I take a seat?
Sit.
And
I know you've spoken of Thrax, General Thrax, the unyielding, the stubborn one, not even beloved among his own clan. You think you can make him bend the knee?
That is not the opportunity I wish to speak to you for. Merely, instead, is the opportunity I myself have given your prince. In my words, my provocation, my sharp tongue pointed against him. It has given you claim against the loyalist, not just in terms of the Emperor's body, but as you said and pointed out, I said the infernal god stand with me, and I stood with the imperialists. Sorry, the loyalists. A little bit of drinking tonight. I stand with the loyalists. You correctly pointed out that means the infernal gods must stand with the loyalists. If you can truly put that in the hearts of the people, and perhaps I could... You know how devils and demons are with deceptions? More can be added to that fire. It would greatly help your cause. In addition, I brought up a question, a pointed question, almost an assertion, that your prince would not be as strong as the Emperor 1,000 years ago, when the demons came and brought havoc to this land. This question, well, some could say it makes him seem weak. It gives him the opportunity to prove elsewise. He can prove himself. Of course, he feels he may have nothing to prove. But merely then, he must double down on what he is. A prince, a warrior. And if there is anyone you know who can even begin to stem the seeds of true honor, not to say the prince is without honor, but true honor, of the Etarian people and soldiers, then perhaps Thrax can see potential in him. Thrax does not, in my opinion. He is a man of service, especially to the Emperor. But if he sees true potential in that prince, he would come over. I have given an opportunity that most would die to give to the Imperials with mere words. And I hope that with the help of the Gavels, or whoever you deem most worthy, we can make the most of this opportunity.
You see her nod and hold up one finger. You gave us the propaganda that we could spread that the Infernals support the Loyalists.
Yes, ma'am.
It's propaganda. We can beat the drum. It may be effective. It may sway some to our side. You also handled both the Loyalist and the 13th and those who follow Thrax. You gave them ammunition against the prince. A lowly, infernal, tainted hound riled him up so. That will also be used against us. So you gave us one, you lost us one.
Not quite.
And he brings out the book with all of his pictures and sat down and opens it.
Believe it or not, I have a bit of a reputation. I'm not quite so lowly, as many would assert. I have
To a
had
prince, you are lowly.
to him, yes. But to others, you can make it seem not quite as so. You can give him a good adversary.
She waves that off. He is a prince of our oldest nation on the face of Kasia. I appreciate you tried to help us, if that is what you've done. But I will give you a word. Well, due to my son, I will give you a word of advice. I have spoken with Lady Akenna. She is not pleased. She has said two things of the Gavels. You will bring us General Thrax. By the end of the tournament, he will bend the knee. All will be forgiven, and you will be elevated. Or, at the end of the tournament, the prince will put a bounty, and she kind of looks on most of the Gavels' heads so high that any bounty hunter will cut his hand off to get a chance to get at you. Agnijit, my son, if you stay at the monastery, forsake the Gavels, you'll be spared this bounty.
You are very scary.
These are not the words, my own. I pleaded for more leniency, not for your sake, Mockery.
I know.
These are the words of Lady Akenna.
But G has to hold back the laugh when he says you are very scary, because this has been his life growing up. But not anymore, surprisingly. Just like right now, even though he sees Mockery being afraid, he is not. He says, Mockery, do you intend, this is a little bit in hushed tones, do you intend to wear your full regalia in the tournament?
Even more than that, I'm going to make help. I'm going to commission help late to be made. Yes.
Okay, all right. So, Mother, yes, it was a reputation or damaging behavior from the prince, yes, that you are correct that you would have to control, but perhaps, or that you will have to do some damage control for. But perhaps when you see Mockery fully arrayed in the tournament, you may be able to turn it in your favor, that he was not just riled up by a lowly infernal, a follower of the infernals. But beyond just the damage to their reputation, it is concerning to me that the High Prince was so easily provoked. I understand that he is young, yes. I also thought that he had advisors to influence him in the right direction. You and I both know what happens when flames become untempered and wild.
G, give me a sense motive and take a +3 with your baby mom.
Oh, that's some heavy lines right there.
That's circumstantial mom bonus.
+3.
I thought about making a joke about it being an item bonus, but I don't even know what that would mean.
Nice. You, especially as you mentioned, like advisors, her eyes fell. Like she looked. Your mom doesn't usually wear a shame. You see her trying to cover it up, but you do feel ashamed. Through that whole speech, she looked guilty, stressed, and not frightened, but worried. But especially the piece that hit you is that he had advisors around him. You see her eyes dart down, her head for a second falls before it kind of rises back up. Easy for you to read. It was her job to keep him in check, and she's not looking great right now.
Okay, yeah, this is gonna give her a bit of a hit as well. Okay, all right, something to process later on. But for now, this is aggro cheap. So, so I of course will not do anything personally myself to go up against the interests of our family. But given everything that is going on in the world, in Eteria, and everything that the Gavels are concerned about, I have within me the right to decide what I direct my attention, my might, my training towards. I hope to direct it towards a worthy successor to our Emperor. Please just give me the reason to do so.
You see, she nods and kind of like strains back up a bit, and she goes, "He can be great. He's a brilliant tactician. On the battlefield, the soldiers follow him into the pits of Thana. And Lady Akenna is teaching him governance. He will progress."
You government, armies. What of the people? Who does he have advising him on the people? Not merely running the towns and speaking with noblemen and politicians and mayors and elders, but of the little person. Who is his representative there? Teaching him, letting him walk amongst them. I
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
He's
You
well
go ahead.
taught on his people. He has been trained his life to be a prince, to represent both Clan Sonaru, along with the Emperor of Eteria as his blood. He knows his people. He knows what Eteria needs. He just needs time to grow a thicker skin so that the insults of a hound cannot rile him up.
Today, perhaps from the center, not the center, merely an impoverished villager or a mud pie. Would he have the same reaction then? To what extent does the insult must go? From how lowly can it come from to derive his ire? If you were not there, I would have lost my head. I did not expect that.
Mockery. Mockery. An Etarian commoner, peasant, my father, myself, that would not happen. We would not raise our hand or throw a mud pie, toss a mud pie towards our emperor. And should that happen, Aterza would be in his right to do what he needed to do to punish that person.
My apologies. Perhaps I'm too used to Godinia.
You do see your mother nod along to that, but then she does put one correction and goes, "You are of Clan Abe. But you are Abe of Clan Abe. You are not a peasant. Don't let your father's view taint your mind." But
My question still stands, in some sense. Would he turn his mind against his own people if he felt his name slighted? Once he has control over it.
I have
And-
pledged myself to the prince. Clan Abe has pledged itself to the prince. We will make sure that he is ready. But you all have a problem that I have submitted. You either need to bring Clan Thanza and its great lord and have them bend the knee, or you need to leave Eteria. Aterza, his mother, will not be stopped from sending bounty hunters if they have not gotten what you have promised them.
Your terms are clear and understood. This makes our decision-making easier. I will direct my efforts into convincing Thrax as much as I can, and I will try to sway the rest of the group to do so as well. That is somewhat our plan right now. Yes. Mockery, do you have anything to add? I do wish a few moments just with my mother once you're done.
Oh, yes, once you... never mind. Agnitude, once we are traveling back, I'll have something to tell you, but I'll leave it to you two. Thank you again.
And Mockery will give a respectful bow to Jeet's mother and to Jeet, and he will start to make his way out in a little bit of a hurried fashion, not wanting to stay in the Imperial camp too long.
So his mother's sitting like on a chair or some kind of divan or something. At that point, once Mockery leaves, the same kind of tiredness that she's been displaying, he will display as well. His shoulders slump. He moves from where he was standing in this position of authority and sits on the ground next to her and says, Well, regardless of whatever happens, it seems we're fairly involved now in the fate of Ateria. But regardless of whatever happens, it's great seeing you again, Mother. And he brings out a small pouch of Kazuo's mochi and starts unwrapping it. I mean, Father did such miracles with rice, sake, mochi, a whole lot of other stuff, you know. So just for old time's sake, here.
You do see she has a smile as she does take one. She goes, I've missed you. You kind of see her, like, the weirdness amplifies a little bit. She goes, I missed your father as well. No matter what I say, he will not. He prefers his life on the farm. He does not care for this. But as your mother, I am proud. You become a flame keeper. I've heard tell that you communed with Nar himself. You are doing great things. As your mother, leave Ateria. As a member of your clan, if you can bring General Thrax, do it. But I do not want to see them put a bounty on your head, son.
I have to tell you, Mother, that I am the shield of the Gavels, whether or not the bounty falls on me or not. If it falls on the others, then I must stand as a shield between them and the bounty. So, if it comes to that, I will leave, yes. But as a citizen of Ateria, I feel duty-bound to try and unite the Empire. So I will be trying to bring Thrax to you.
You kind of see, like, she kind of lets out a deep breath as she goes, you always wanted to pick your own path. May Nar's flame guide you, son. I wish you success, and I hope to see you triumphant, bringing Thrax back to us. I don't want to lose another child.
Does he get the reference of that?
Well, last time she told you your sister was just sick, kind of, on the farm.
Yes. Yeah.
And she looked a little sketchy saying it, but
Another?
and you kind of see her, like, some of the not tiredness evaporates, but you see worry kind of replace the fatigue, and she goes, your sister, she's alive. She abandoned the family. I do not know where she is. If you are in public, please. She is sick upon our farm.
I see. I have to say, I am not as surprised as you would have expected me to be. It seems everyone but Father is involved in the fates. I just have to find her, because I think she may be involved in some magics beyond her reckoning, or maybe within her reckoning. Who knows? I haven't seen her in so many years. But I will see if I can find her trail. Do not worry, Mother. You have raised two capable children. Let us just hope that neither of us disappoint you too much.
She kind of see her smile and go, you always wanted to go your own path, and I've fought with you for it. I've tried to beat you into submission, but I respect you for it.
I think I get that. Oh, I think I get that from my mother.
You see, she smiles, like, kind of a little sad smile, and takes a bite of the mochi. She goes, "You probably do. If not, you'd probably be on a farm somewhere, just letting us all weather you by."
All right, Mother. I will take my leave now. Good luck to you for what may come in the future. And with that, he bows down, and as he's bowing, he grabs a pinch of the dust that was beneath her feet, and just like takes it as a sign of respect.
You see, she gets not as low, but definitely a bow back, and she goes, "For whatever may come, I love you, son." And then she kind of leans back in her chair, looks tired, but then kind of starts turning back to some of the reports and other kind of other burdens of duty upon her desk.
Yeah, GTF.
Perfect. With that, though, you guys are able to get a night's rest, and we're going to kick off downtime. So you guys will have a week of downtime, and with this can either be spent if you have something you can do in the monastery, utilizing their forges and equipment, you can do so, or if you've got training that you need to do, you're allowed. You can definitely stay at the Burning Dragon Monastery. If a city would fit your needs better, Commander Arks did let you guys know that you are welcome. That Thrax does not have a bounty or anything to detain you on site for taking the Emperor from his fallen sons. So with that, we'll kick off downtime. I'll pick on Wisteria, Belric, or Will first. What are you guys thinking for your week?
I can go first. So yeah, I'm going to head into Akara and spend some time asking around, trying to find out a few pieces of information. I'm trying to find, so Thrax has kind of been in charge around here for some time, or at least his clan has. You can't be a leader without making enemies. So I want to know who in Akara is not happy with Thrax or Arts, and if there's any kind of like underworld organizations that are kind of working against him or anything like that, any kind of criminal element that I want to maybe establish a contact with. So I do have the underground network feat, where if I spend a week in an area, I can establish a contact in the underworld. But so part of this downtime is doing that, but also trying to find information, and also anything else I can find about Ark specifically. I'd love to know a bit more about his history, or how he got to his position, what he's capable of, or any like dirt I can dig up on him, or things or secrets that I might be able to find.
Okay. So which of those three do you want to focus on for this week? Do you want to find dirt or kind of information on Arcs? Do you want to see if kind of what the criminal underworld feels about Thrax and Clan Thanza? And just a reminder, Thrax just took over Clan Thanza. He was kind of part of their blood, but he'd mostly been a general. He wasn't the great lord of the clan until about a week ago. So you can find out kind of more kind of what the criminal underworld thinks, if he does have any that's opposed, or what the kind of criminal underworld believes of him, or if Thrax has any enemies within Akara and Clan Thanza.
Not counting the week of the archetype, what remind me how much more downtime we're probably going to have in this area?
So you guys, because minus your, because there's 3 weeks of, or this week, with this week included, there are 3 weeks of downtime left. So you'd have your archetype week, so you'd have 2 more weeks.
Okay. Let's see. I think I'm trying to focus on establishing a connection with the criminal underworld here, and try to just get some people that I can trust and can trust me, and kind of build those relationships.
All right. Oh, sweet. I don't think that takes a roll, does it? Let me see what that feat. Does it take a roll for you to take that week to kind of establish it?
Let me pull that up. So it refers to when I use society to gather information in an area where I have a network, and then in parentheses, typically a settlement where you spent a week or a day of town. Oh, okay. So I can spend a full day just building a network, or I can just, if I've been here for a week, I have connections here without. So I could, like, it sounds like I could do a different downtime activity in the city, and as part of just being around, I kind of build up a network that way.
Perfect. So you could build your network and pick one of those three. Do you want dirt on Arcs and its history? Do you want to see what the criminal networks think of Commander Arcs and General Thrax? Or do you want to see if Thrax has any enemies within Kara and Clan Thanza?
I'll pick the one for Arcs, so digging up stuff about his history.
All right, give me a society roll.
All right.
And how does Wisteria go about kind of establish her criminal network and starting to make ties?
So I think she would probably spend the first day or so just like observing the movement of people and try to see where, maybe identifying people who are down on their luck or don't have a lot of connections, but are finding ways to profit and show signs of wealth otherwise. And try to kind of find people who have means but don't have a normal way to get means. And then see the kind of places they hang out, the places they go, the people they talk to, and find an opportune conversation to insert myself into and ask something innocuous. But kind of relying on a little bit of the things that I learned back in Mokulin outside of school and some of my extracurricular activities. On how these sorts of groups typically operate and what sorts of, businesses and people tend to have the knowledge that I'm looking for.
Definitely. And you're able to definitely find some of these in Akara, some of the kind of the more of the slummy areas where kind of away from the nobility, where people gamble, throw dice, where some of the more seedy potions and drugs and things are sold. Because while crime is like Ateria does present this orderly face to the world, and it's definitely very ordered compared to even the rest of Kazia, but they do have a criminal underground. And one of the unique things that Wisteria you're able to find either on the ground or maybe even through your own research before making your way there, Ateria does have a fairly prominent organized crime scene. The Ashin. They pretty much run crime in Ateria. With your role too, I'll give you a little bit of backstory on them. Basically, about 3,000 years ago, the Emperor tried to just eliminate crime in Ateria. He thought if you put enough boots on the ground, enough guards, enough soldiers, focused it on enough, he thought he could get rid of crime. But he later found that crime is inherent within people. So when he tried to get rid of crime, it just got more chaotic. There was nobody controlling the people. There were muggings, there were arsons, there were fires, there were theft, bribery. Everything ran rampant. So after a while, he decided not that there would be no crime, but crime would be orderly and pretty much invisible unless you went looking for it. So the Ashin was born. Basically, they're able to operate as long as they keep the peace of the criminal networks, keep things at least not overly visible. They're allowed to operate. And you're definitely able to kind of find some of their safe houses and kind of start making some connections within that group. And one of the people you find is kind of one of the mid-level Ashin bosses for Akara. He is a kind of a middle-aged dragonborn. He's got just pale black scales on his skin, wearing kind of like this gaudy robe. Like it's one of those ones. It's bright emerald that almost just a little bit too much. But you do see, because you've been to Mokulin, where some of these criminal establishments, usually there's more beggars on the street, there's more drunkards, people addicted on substances kind of wandering around these establishments. It's pretty quiet out there. Like people will come in orderly, get what they need, leave. Even people that are haggard, wearing robes and clothes that barely sewn together, come in, get what they need, and quietly go out. Outside of his gaudy suit, it's very put together, we'll say. But you do find him. His name is Klaxo. He does give you a little bit of a rundown as you kind of make yourself known. Actually, how does Wisteria go about kind of making herself known to him?
So she probably wouldn't use her real name, but introduce herself as Ambiance, and talk about some of the connections she's made at Mokulin, the things she's learned, the skills she has to offer, and trying to make herself seem like a resource while giving subtle hints about the things she's looking for, but not explicitly like asking for anything outright. I have all sorts of information I've gathered. I record everything. It's quite valuable to any interested parties, and but my collection's not complete, and I'm on the hunt for lots of interesting pieces of information, particularly things in regards to some of the current leaders of Clan Thanza. It's quite fascinating how they came to power, and I'm looking to maybe write a history book about it. See how history evolves, and kind of like wink. Especially the less well-known parts of these people's history.
You see with that, like the Dragonborn breaks into a smile on his snout, and he goes, "Yeah, history book. I know a lot of people writing history books. But yeah, well, we know a bit about a bit. Those new leaders. You kind of see, and he does give you a bit of a spiel about Arcs, with you kind of narrowing in on your focus there. And one of the big things he goes over, because Arcs doesn't have, like, Arcs is that's his name. He does not have a last name, which for Teria, basically he is born at very at the peasant level. And that's one of the things you find out about him. He was born on the streets of Akara. Dad abandoned him when he was young. Mother died pretty much by the time he was 6. Had to kind of survive on the streets by himself. Sorcerer's blood, so he was able to kind of get an understanding of magic and try to utilize that to survive. That's actually how he came to Thrax's attention. Thrax is a couple years older than he is, and during his time kind of wandering through Akara, found Arcs trying to utilize his magic to kind of cast an illusion that will allow him to steal a bread and some chicken. Basically just trying to feed himself. An illusion, kind of as the story goes, went off well, but Arcs wasn't able to control it for long enough, and the shopkeeper caught him and was just beating down. Arcs, violating the law, was planning on beating him up and was planning on sending him to the guards. Further punishment. But Thrax at that time, pretty much not even a teenager yet, interjected, smacked the store owner. It basically told him that Arcs was more resourceful to the store owner, and how dare should he be beat for trying to feed himself. So with that, Arcs has been he brought him onto his own family's land, and Arcs has pretty much been Thrax's best friend since. They joined the Legion together. Once Thrax was given a command, Arcs was kind of under his own Legion, and under first his own unit, then his own Legion. And Arcs has pretty much served him since. You'll get a little bit too from the Ashen. That Arcs is usually the one that does some of his grayer dealings as well. Arcs keeps a contact with the Ashen. They've borrowed money from the Ashen before. They've used the Ashen too for some of their black ops. With Arcs usually the one managing these endeavors.
We should have joined Thrax.
Yeah.
Everything I've heard about Thrax and Arcs thus far all proves that they should be the ones in charge. We should have joined them. Yeah.
That's certainly one of the thoughts going through Wisteria's mind during this conversation. She'll say she's really appreciative of all this knowledge. And if Arcs happens to be looking for any other operatives to perform any missions that she'd be willing to offer her services with, all as sort of an agent for the Yashen if they need extra bodies to work whatever missions Arch has coming his way. And as a show of good faith, she'll mention, you shared with me things that will be quite useful for my book. And I know you are an upstanding member of the Empire, and I'm sure you're worried about the state of the Emperor and how things are. So I just want to give you a few reassurances. I've heard that the parts of his soul have been located. One's in Messia, one's in Dosa, and one's in Mekis. So not many people know that, but I think that will help kind of reassure any worries you might have, just if you have reassured mine.
You're not fooling around here, are you?
Oh, I only ever speak the truth.
I don't know if it'll reassure nobody, but it's something worth knowing. You need help in Akaro? Look up old Claxo. That's gonna make me some money.
I'm happy to help, and I'll be sure to let you know if I need your services, whatever they might be.
You see, he smiles. It kind of goes back to kind of whatever shady deal he's operating out of his little flop house. With that, yeah, you've got criminal contacts, Claxo of the Ashin, the criminal network within Eteria. With that, Belric, Will, who wants to go next for their week of downtime?
Can I just mention yet again out of character? We made a mistake. We should have joined Craft. Didn't he offer us a ship?
I think he did.
He did offer you guys a decommissioned warship. He brought the Emperor's body back.
Well, we reap what we sow.
At the time,
We took the warship.
we couldn't. Jeet would not like anathema or something like that.
Perfect. So, Will, Belric, what do you guys do for your week of downtime?
I have an idea.
Okay.
If you don't have some. Okay, so here's my political theory. I think that none of these factions really super want the Emperor to come back. I think they are all now interested in their own goals and their own power, but they have to at least publicly remain supportive of the Emperor and, say that they want him brought back safe and stuff. Maybe that's not necessarily everyone, but that's my theory. So I would like to sort of exploit that a little bit. Because we are going to save the Emperor, I want a ship. I assume that somebody was going to give us one to borrow or something. I want one that belongs to us. It's funny how this just came up. I was just thinking about this today. So I would like to sort of campaign. I don't know who. I'll have to talk to many people, I'm sure, collect perhaps donations or just support from various people. And I would like to gain get enough resources to get a ship that belongs to the Gavel, because I believe we are going to need a sort of mobile base as we continue to grow and gain power.
That's a great idea. Unfortunately, ships are expensive, so it'd be a little big for a downtime piece. You can definitely start working to kind of gain funds for the ship. We can use the earn income piece for that one to kind of start building that. We're even kind of spreading the message that the Gavels are looking to kind of find the Emperor, but unfortunately the ship would be a little too large for downtime.
Okay then. earn income is going to get me like 8 gold or some shit like that. That's not even worth. That's not going to even make a meaningful 10.
Just like
Okay.
damage, every gold counts.
All right. Well, let's see. Instead, I'm thinking perhaps I would like to. I just want to gather information. Then, I want to become the absolute expert on what is going on in Mechas. I want to know everything about everyone. I want to know the people involved. I want to know the places that I want to know everything that, like, there's clearly some sort of conflict going on in Mechas that I only know a little bit about tangentially. I want to become an absolute expert so that when I end up there to look for my good friend, I know where to go looking. And
Definitely,
I can perhaps find. I also, in particular, I want to see if I can find out like who she's fighting for and why.
Oh, we saw who she's fighting against. So you did find who she's fighting. You wouldn't be able to find facts about Blessing, but you could definitely find kind of more what's going on in Mechas.
Yeah, I don't expect to find out like specific information about her necessarily, but like I want to like know like as much as possible so that I can make inferences and also just like have an idea where to go looking for her when I eventually get there.
Okay. Yeah, give me a society check.
All right. I can do that. It should be secret.
I can roll it up.
Okay. There's a decent chance this is going to be the only roll I make this whole session, so I'm going to use the hero point on this.
A bold assumption.
What the hell?
I guess the game decided you have a 12 now.
The hard part we'll find is kind of sifting through what's true, what's propaganda. But a couple of the things you're able to kind of find from the Eternal Tribune, the Mokeland Press, some of the news articles that have been released, kind of able to put them into a little bit of a piece that makes sense. You do know that the Imperium of Mechas utilizes for kind of a long time ago, they had a invasion of Hellspawn with these little creatures that broke free from the Hells. A lot of people blame Shinzo Z for them and assaulted Mechas. But the people of Mechas, the Imperium, were able to fight back and eventually subdue these creatures and have forced them to serve the Imperium as labor, as soldiers, as domestic, as farmers. They basically become the major workforce for the Imperium. With that, there's been a rebellion going along amongst the Hellspawn. As Mechas puts it, terrorists have been breaking into Hellspawn camps, freeing them, and turning them against the Imperium. During your vision, you saw Blessing kind of cutting down people with the Gilded Rose, the Gilded Rose of Mechas. The Imperium is also, depending on who you ask, is either known as the Gilded Imperium, the people of Mechas call themselves, or the Infernal Imperium, as most of Khazia refers to them. But with that, the city of Marin has fallen to the Hellspawn. Mechas has commented that they're no longer able to control it, and has been calling on adventurers, bounty hunters, and the likes, mercenaries to come aid them in their efforts to retake the city.
All right. Yeah, I understand, Rashana. We'll get there eventually. It's gonna take some time. Leave me alone, please. We'll get there.
I should also mention I feel like at some point in the adventure, Mockery would have mentioned to just all the gals that on his pilgrimage, there's a couple main places he wants to visit. Mechas is one of them. So you got his vote for going to Mechas eventually. Probably for different reasons.
Probably. I'm concerned that I might burst into flames if I go in the wrong direction while we're there. So,
all right, Belric. Okay. So during the downtime, Belric's not gonna like actively ignore anyone, but during the majority of days, he's gonna kind of make expeditions out to um, the large mountain Nars Inferno. I'm assuming is that yeah. And really, what he's going to be working on for the week is he's going to be crafting um, elemental arrows, and these are going to be like fire elemental arrows, kind of imbued in Nars Inferno. So he's
Nice.
going to be, I don't know, like not collecting lava, obviously, but potentially like taking arrows out there and trying to get like some of the fire properties of Nar onto those arrows.
Sick. So with this, because you've got the formula for elemental arrows, right?
I do.
Sweet. So it depends on how much gold you have and how much time and how many arrows you want to have. With the formula, you can craft them as low as 1 day, which if you're successful would take some of the earned income off of it for the price. You could do all 7 days and get, that's consumable, so that comes in a batch of 4. That's right, Jake? Yeah, that's right, sweet. So that would come in a batch of 4. So if you wanted to, you could do 7 times 4 and pay the gold price, and whatever small discount you get from earned income, you could take that off of there. Or you could spend more time on it and try to see if you can bring that price down.
So just to clarify, how it's 3 gold piece for 4 arrows? Is that right?
Let me see. I'm not sure how much it cost.
The elemental ammunition says that it's 3 gold.
So that's for 1 arrow, and you can, when you're crafting consumables, you can choose to craft them in a batch of up to 4. So if you wanted to go 12 GP.
Holy cow, man. This is a lot of money for damage. I like the flavor of it though, so I'm going to spend let's call it, man, now I have to be like, I thought I'd come out here with like 50 arrows and just sling them wherever I want. Now they're like, I have to be very intentional. So a batch of 4 is going to cost 12 gold unless I do something to do that. So let's do, try and make 16 arrows, which I guess would take 4 days, right?
All right. So the nice thing with that is you could spend, so it's 4 days. So you could spend an extra day on 3 of those batches and potentially bring it down by your earned income.
Okay, let's do that then.
All right. Sweet. So give me, what that's still 4. So give me 4 crafting checks. What level are elemental arrows? I don't have them in front of me right now.
I'm doing the lesser. The 1, thank you.
Oh, 1? Oh, that's easy then. So you've got to beat, what's level 1's? I think 15 for level 1. So you've got to make a crafting check, beat a DC 15. So give me some rolls on that side. So give me 4 rolls, and we'll see how those come out for you. Nice.
Great. So did I miss 1?
Oh, let me see.
12?
Oh, yeah, the
First
12 would have missed, unless you want to use a...
Yeah, I might as well use a hero point on this. 25.
Perfect. You've got 3 crit successes and 1 regular success. So for viewers, and a reminder for everybody too, we are doing a little bit of modified rules for crafting. Typically, the day that you spend setting up, you don't get to use the earned income for it. But I thought crafting should be a little bit better than buying it in the store, so let's give them a little bit more of a discount. So with that, your 3 crit successes, we're going to treat those as 1 level higher for your earned income. You're an expert in crafting, right?
I am.
Oh, solid. So you got crit success 3 times. So that takes 6 GP off of the price.
Okay.
And you got a regular success waltz, so that adds an extra 1 GP, so 7 GP off total.
Okay. That's gonna
so,
net me 16 elemental arrows.
Yeah, 16 elemental arrows.
Great. Okay.
And I think because it was what, 12 per batch. So what was that? 48 altogether. Yeah, so you saved a decent bet.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
So 41 GC after the minus a 7. Or GP. I always forget it's P for gold pieces, not gold coins. Okay.
And I had one last question.
Hmm?
So there was something I was looking at, and it was considered uncommon, but it was a grappling arrow. So maybe I can share it, but I was wondering if that is something that I could like purchase.
Let me see. Post that up, and I'll take a look at that. We'll see if we
Okay.
can find that for you. But for this one, yeah, you got a good week on that side. You're able to kind of find Nars fire and kind of imbue it in your own. You and Bear out there, your own methods, kind of collecting that, building in some fire arrows. And remind me of elemental arrows. How much damage do they do? Extra damage do they add in?
Not very much for how much they're costing me. 1 persistent and 1 splash. by the looks
Okay.
of it.
That's
Okay.
actually really nice.
The persistence is nice.
Is off.
Nice.
Perfect. So you're able to go through and get those eds, bit of your week of downtime there. With that, we'll flip over to we'll go into well, I assume both of you guys are going to be spending your downtime training with your faction
For the archetype.
for the
Yes.
archetype.
Yes.
And this is to get the archetype, right?
To get the archetype.
Does that include getting the armor, or would that be a week in itself for Mockery?
That won't be a week. With that, we'll just kind of say that you and Gene are basically to take a day because they've got the formula. Basically, with that one, you're able to just take a day, no roll needed. But I do want to hear how you guys go about forging this Hell Knight armor and Mockery, what it ends up looking like.
All right. For forging, Mockery would approach Jeet, saying that he trusts him to forge such a piece of armor in dedication to a god. Of course, Mockery recognizes that it's not Jeet's gods, but I mean,
Yeah, we're both working in that gray zone. Cheat will nod. He says, "Yes, I can make you tough, strong, resilient armor. I can make the material. I can make the plating. Of course, if plausible deniability here, if the armor needs any inscriptions or runing that needs to happen on it, I will not be able to do that. So make sure you do the inscribing of whatever needs to be inscribed once I'm done making the pieces, and then I will bolt it together without looking at the inscription to see what it's saying."
Of course. And I thank you. I should say, for most of the Hell Knight, just about all of them, they go with full plate. I do not want to go with that. I find it far too restrictive. Don't get me wrong, I'm strong enough for it. But I prefer what you have. Half plate.
Oh no, I sold my half plate.
Oh.
And then I pat his armored thighs now, like, now this is a modified version of the full plate. But if you want the half, I can make the half.
and Mockery would nod. And for how the Hell Knight armor would look for Mockery, first I want to turn it to you, Tegan, for how Hell Knight armor looks standardly, because I know we've had this conversation before, but just to establish what it looks normally.
Definitely. So, and you got to see kind of with the dozen Hell Knights that accompanied, kind of met along your way. They favor very stylistic armor, like usually dark colors, either black, crimson, gray, even some very dark blues. Very heavy armor. Definitely has like kind of most of them wear a cloak along with it as well. With it, it's individualistic, but it all kind of carries like a similar style to it. It's definitely easily identifiable as Hell Knight plate, identifying those as the servants of Tomic and kind of servants of order. So that they're definitely there to carry out, impose order by fear, by fury, by whatever means necessary. So it does kind of have like it's usually pristine, but it looks kind of like a real hellish aesthetic.
So spikes and whatnot.
A lot of spikes, a lot of tattered cloaks, definitely kind of giving the rugged a look.
All right. And for mockeries, I'd describe it a bit. Well, still kind of pristine because it's new armor. It doesn't have any scars just yet. But rather than spikes, he'd go with these rounded bits, often in groups of 3 all over his armor, kind of to help deflect blows. It would almost look gladiatorial in a way in its design, and I'd rather say very cool with the design I'm thinking of. Bits of chainmail hanging off here and there. Uh, he would definitely still carry in that design of the Hell Knight, showing that he is a worshipper of the Infernals, and B, someone who carries out order. But it definitely seems a lot rounder in a lot of places, a lot less jagged. Uh, yeah, that's how I describe just the baseline of it, just in case I change my mind on any of the details while drawing it. But I want to know if Jeet puts any of his flair into making the armor. And whatever you say will directly affect the design process.
No, he does not. He does not. He will he'll keep it as plain. I mean, shiny, of course. Yeah, there'll be a nice shine to it, or glinting armor, because he knows that you like to impress, let's call it, people. So yeah. Other than that, all he'll do is he will keep the measurements and sort of the mold measurements in case you change your mind and want to turn the half plate into a full plate. He's like, he'll come around. He'll come around. The next time he gets hit in the thigh, he'll be like, yeah, give me the rest of the plate.
Out of curiosity, why is Mockery going for half plate versus full plate?
This is actually something that's kind of been hinted a few times with Mockery. He's a little bit more, he prefers a little bit more mobility. In his art, one of his arms is completely unarmored. He doesn't like wearing, having things on his face. He doesn't wear a helmet. He's got all these little scales and horns and growths and feathers all over him. He doesn't really like all that weight on these infernal corruptions of his, and he kind of likes to show them off. In addition, just being able to move faster in combat, flavor-wise, rather than just being like a full armored juggernaut, he prefers that a lot more. Just having the freedom of his elbow and whatnot.
Well, half plate has the same penalty.
Oh, I know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For speed, I mean.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yep. Mockery he actually has the strength for both half plate and full plate. I just find it makes more sense for him. For both mobility's sake, because like if you're actually imagining half plate versus full plate, the differences therein, the fact he is far more someone for like travel and nomadic, so having a little bit less weight on his back for that kind of thing, having something a bit more designed for that, especially because Mockery doesn't have a mount. He doesn't have a mount to take the brunt of that weight for travel. He has a horse, yes, but I mean like not a combat horse, not a true hellish mount. He has a dog. He wants to keep up with that dog.
Nice.
It makes sense in my brain. I hope I did a good job explaining why.
Oh yeah, definitely. Perfect. Well, you guys are able to go through and forge kind of that Hell Knight plate, and Mockery, you're able to put your finishes to it, and start to kind of put some of the insignia. And one of the things you do notice with the Hell Knights is they do have the insignia, or the kind of the religious symbols of the four lords, or the 3 lords of Hell, and then the King of Hell atomic upon them. So you see the mark of Rog, Lord of Fear and Fury. You see Vicenro's mark for Pestilence and Apathy. You see Makesh's mark in Brilliant Gold for Greed, Despair. And you do see Tomic's mark for Order. Throughout the armor, within these kind of intricate runes and symbols.
On the inside of the helmet, there's going to be a hidden symbol for Sinzo.
Yeah, Mockery would know though that if they're ever discovered by the Hell Knights, that could jeopardize his standard.
Maybe put that rather than the helmet in the gorget, the thing that wraps around his collarbone, because that's a lot less likely to be found than seen. Who's gonna check that versus just flipping the helmet around?
Fair enough. Perfect. So you guys are able to forge the armor before kind of going, and with Mockery, you trot off through the sands to find kind of the Hell Knight encampment with Vinnick there. Jeet, you make your way back to the Citadel and get to train with the first flame. And they both put you through your paces. With Jeet, the flame is like pretty much just fire is just around you. Like he is beating in, he is pushing you to your limits, trying to force you to learn their rituals, learn their the means of controlling the flames, their the basically just the tenets of the Flame Keepers. You know the words of Nar, but now he is just showing you exactly what the fires can do, exactly kind of the power these rituals can bring, the responsibility that comes of them, and he's imparting his knowledge, but he's definitely where Melissa has a kind of a kind patience in her teachings. The first flame is business. Like he is up crack of dawn, down far past the sun, and he expects you training that pretty much you're full out the whole day. It definitely kind of imbibing into the secrets, and definitely kind of sharing the knowledge that he can possess and passing it on to you.
Yeah, G will follow all of the instructions exactly. He will wake up early. He will stay as late as he needs to. He's had his recent conversation with Nar. He's just become Flamekeeper, so the fire is burning hot in him. So he will do all of that correctly. But after he's done every day of his training, uncharacteristically, he will go to Belric and just drink heavily with him.
Let's go, dude.
No, just enough to so I can just fall asleep. That's all. Just one more.
Belric will wink.
Gee, you're able to get some much needed rest. But Mockery, when you kind of reach Vinnick and the rest of the Hell Knights, especially as you show up in your plate, you do see him kind of break into a smile as well. And he just kind of gives you just kind of this charmingly cocky smile, and he goes, "Are you ready to begin, Hound?"
Yes.
He's got his swords ready.
You see him wrap his chest. You are a Hell Knight. You represent the throne of hell. You represent order. You represent the guiding focus of this world as we will put it into stead, as the hells are ordered under the throne. And you kind of see he avoids saying Tomic's name quite a bit. He says the throne pretty much whenever he speaks of Tomic. He goes, "You will be here to serve, to emulate order. You wear our plate, but for now you are an arm rigger. But this week you will train. We will show you exactly the power that we could bring in this beacon of order that you could become. Because for you, Mockery, a beacon you'll be. Typically, we operate in the shadows. You've already made yourself quite visible, and we want you to continue doing so. Show the might of the Infernals, show the might of the throne, show the might of the Hell Knights. And with that, like they go into training, like, and their training is brutal. Where Jeet's just getting like worked to hell and just like kind of yelled at to get stuff done. Mockery, like they wake you up. Somebody hits you, like this straight up sucker punches you and goes. Vidic just like wakes you up, punch to the face, and says, "Why were you not ready? Get up."
Actually, I'd like to interject because it's been established. Mockery has idolized the Hell Knights. He has actively brought up the fact he has been training, like how they've trained and the legends they're in. He's tried to train one of our followers like them, and he's tried to train some civilians somewhat like them. And how Rog does it? Could he have been ready for something like that? Could he have been prepared for this kind of
thing? Lower check. It'll be a hard check. Got to beat a D. What's a hard check for this level? Got to beat a DC 24.
Can I beat that? 24?
Too high.
I have only a plus 12.
Yeah. You roll a D20.
Oh. Sorry, for some reason I was like, plus 12, that can only get up to 22. Sorry,
there you go.
If we go with the higher, I'd like to use a hero point to fish for a crit.
Oh yeah, if you'd like to.
Yep. I'll burn it just in case. Nope. 30.
Yeah, so definitely, like he goes to wake you up with the punch, but definitely you're able to kind of get your arm up enough to kind of block a lot of the sting. It still hurts like hell, but you're able to kind of like prepare and block. You do see kind of a small smile come from the Hell Lord.
I was ready.
You see smiles, but then just throws you up and goes, "Are you proud of yourself? You are a Hell Knight. You should have been more than prepared." And then like they just the week, you feel yourself getting stronger. You feel yourself getting even more fearsome as they put you through this endeavor, as they train you in their ways, train you how to intimidate, and they train you through this by intimidating you themselves and just going all out. But eventually, at the end of the week, you do see Vidic give you a small nod and says, "Go back to your gavels. You're an arm rigger now. We will call upon you when we need you, but for now, continue honoring the throne."
I will, and thank you. I have a few scars that I always remember this week with training here now. Thank you.
You see, he nods, and with that, he does mount up on his horse, and him and his cadre of Hell Knights ride off through the sands. Before he does leave, though, he does give you this kind of small, kind of blank slate. And he says, "When I have need to contact you, I will reach through this." And then he rides off, kicking up sand behind him. But with that, you guys have finished your first week of downtime. We are going to take a quick 5-minute break. And then we're going to get into, because as Olo let you know, one of Kosir's representatives is recruiting for the tournament in Akara. You guys get a chance to meet Arapo, the satyr of Kosir, and get a chance to kind of try your hand at this game.
I'm ready.
Sweet. So come back 5 minutes, and I'll see you guys then. Welcome, everyone, to part 2 of session 17 of Pandemonium. The group has knocked out their first downtime for the session, sharpening skills, gathering information, and making contacts. And now, actually, I should check with the group. I know Olo did mention that a servant of Kosir was in Akaro recruiting for this tournament of peace. The god of celebration is organized to hopefully help these factions come together, if not to find peace, at least to find some common ground and remember that they are all people. But yeah, he's going to be in Akaro for the next day. Is there anything you guys want to do in the monastery, or is there anything? Are you guys heading out to meet Arapo?
Yes, there is one thing Mockery would like to do, and I'm sorry for yoinking so much time for Mockery this session. But before we leave the monastery, he wants that duel with Jeet.
Okay. Let's get to that next session.
Yeah. Also, if we could do it like next session, maybe you and I can arrive half an hour early, and then we'll do it before the session starts. If that works for you, yeah.
Well, that works for me.
Perfect. All right, sweet. So you guys are able to kind of hit the road. It does take a day to traverse the sands from the monastery to Akaro. You find the bustling city within, and you do. And kind of one of the major differences you guys see from Akaro. Some of you, well, at least Wisteria had been in the city prior, but it is a lot more well fortified than when you came here weeks ago. You see numerous 13th soldiers, 13th Legion soldiers patrolling the city. You see an encampment not too far on the outskirts of the city. You see blockades built. This definitely it is. It does look like a city kind of prepared for a war, as you see kind of everything gathering around. The city itself, bustling, still trading. You see ships still going in and out of the docks, but definitely a lot of soldiers and 13th Legion and kind of Imperial ships kind of guarding the bay. But it definitely is a bustling city. The people, they seem like they don't seem super concerned yet. They don't seem happy or distraught, but they do seem kind of that buzz or energy that goes through when big things are occurring. But one of the things that you guys kind of hear word of, or this excitement of, as soon as you guys come set foot into the town, is you guys hear let's see this young dragonborn couple kind of walking down the streets, a little bit like it's midday, but there's definitely they are walking with a bit of a sway to their step, and you guys hear this dragonborn kind of grumble out I thought I could outdrink him. I almost had the guy, but yeah. You see the girl go, no, you didn't. He was drinking 2 beers to your one while having a full conversation with someone else. You just lost the gold. He had Kosir's symbol upon. Why would you think you could outdrink him? The guy goes, I had him. I mean, he was just showing off. I mean, if I ate beforehand, it'd have been good.
I think I know where Arapo is. Arapo. Did we see where they were coming from?
You see them kind of stumbling down the main fair, and you do see kind of a lot of you see a lot of the traffic is almost going in the opposite direction from them. You don't see kind of these clear signs, but you do see a lot of the people kind of almost excitedly pressing onward.
Should we continue and press onward? Yeah, I think we would continue going that route.
Well, maybe if the challenge is drinking, we should take that man's advice and get something to eat beforehand. But I hope it's something at least a little more intellectual.
Balric rolls his eyes.
We've already beaten a cleric of Kosir before in a drinking match.
You beat a monk that worships Kosir.
Mockery, maybe emboldening the 18th bit.
But yeah, you guys are able to follow along. It's a little bit of a twisting path, but you do come to the city center, and you see in the city center, Kosir is sitting almost like this little makeshift makeshift like stands around. He's got like these bleachers, this little kind of small area through the sands where he's kind of crossed it out. You see he's got tables on there. He is drinking. He is like spinning yarns. Like he is talking. He's the life of the party. And you see this man, like he is a satyr. So you see his hoven feet. He's got kind of gray around his temples and beard, and definitely kind of these horns that are kind of covered in flecks of gold. You see he's got this golden mug in his hand and just this big smile. And you see him kind of just talking to people, gaming with them, throwing dice. And you just see the people's spirits lifted with him around, and just kind of a good time to be had. Yeah, he's just standing kind of in the center there, drinking, talking, and just living it up. What do the gavels do?
This is what we came for, right? A chance to get into, like, this was, sorry, out of character.
Yes.
Yeah, this is here for the, okay, yeah, so this is what we came for. Let's go approach. I'm kind of like, Belric's a kid at a candy store. Like, he's seeing, like, the drinking and all the fun, and he's like, all right, guys, come on. Like, I don't need to be strategic about it. Like, let's go. This is what we're here, right? Let's go. Come on.
I mean, I had more fun talking to criminals, but I guess we need to do this if we want to get into this tournament.
Oh,
Yeah.
there'll be criminals around here. Just look around.
Belric, the honors are yours. Introduce us.
Wait. Is that good? Are you wearing that, Belric? That's good, right? You want to go with that?
I look a little, I'm offended.
Okay,
What
no.
do you mean?
Dude, no, go ahead.
I have Bear lead the way. I know it's like a crowded area, so like Bear leads us in, and
So
like everyone's
Bear-
getting out of the way.
So
Is Bear
Bear
allowed?
with the keg on him is leading the way.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the keg on him.
Perfect.
You hear a shout come up from the center. You see Arapo jumping up on a table, and he goes, "Holy shit, that bear has a keg!" Praise be to Kosir. Whose bear is that? Is Kosir here? This seems like something he would do.
You see like just an arm pop up behind the bear, and that's all you can see. And then the bear kind of moves away, and it reveals Belric will be in front and round with everyone and say, "Hey, gavel." We're the gavel, and we're here to talk to you about entering Kosir's tournament.
Well, first off, you brought a bear with an ale. You kind of see him like snap his fingers too. And for those who don't have anything in their hands, like have a free hand, I should say, you do see a drink appear within. And you do see kind of it tailors to your own taste too. For those that prefer a strong ale, you've got an ale. For those that may like kind of a particular spirit, you see that. Or for those that may prefer wine, he snaps. And basically, it appears for those who don't even want an alcoholic drink, it appears a nice tea or whatever may kind of suit your fancy. And you see him snap, and it appears. And he has his own golden mug refills, and he goes, "Well, gavels, heard a bit about you, but hey, everybody has a reputation. But hey, you brought a bear with a keg, and you want to fight at Kosir's tournament? That deserves a drink." And you see as he like chugs a good chunk of his drink. He does take a theatrical bow. And he goes, "I'm Arapo, first servant of Kosir, spreader of joy, spreader of celebration, and occasionally servant of peace. Nice to meet your acquaintance."
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance as well.
Well, 5 o'clock somewhere, right? Eh?
What time
What time
is it?
actually is it?
I want it to be like
It's
9 a.m.
early afternoon. It's like
Okay. 5 o'clock
absolutely
somewhere.
right.
Yeah. Cheers. He'll cheers with the new drink in his hand.
So you guys want to join the tournament? I mean, I've heard tell of some of the things you've done, and they've reached Kosir's ears as well. And we would love to have you fight alongside of us with this fight for peace and bring together the various people of Atarian, those around Kazuya as well. Kosir and I believe if you can bring people together, give them a drink, give them something fun to see, maybe people don't want to fight afterwards. Or if they do want to fight, they jump in the arena and just duke it out, and everybody gets to come home, maybe a bit bloody, but they get to go home.
Yes.
But this tournament, it's going to be serious business. Do you guys feel you're up to the snuff?
Will looks around at the rest of the group. I believe so. I do have one question, though. Could you tell me a little bit about the format of this tournament? Like, how exactly is it determined who you'll be facing and all that stuff?
Well, there's 4 rounds. Who you're facing, Kosir decides that. But 4 rounds, there's 3 rounds against other teams where usually 5-on-5. But if you've got a bonded companion, he points to Bear and Hyena, they're allowed to come with you. They're part of your soul, bring them along. Can't bring in the other hirelings or anybody like that, though. 5-on-5 for people. But with that, you go through, you fight your heart out. Part of this, because we don't want a boring old fight. You want to entertain the crowd. You got to win the crowd to your side. Kosir wants people to remember this. You got to be entertaining. You got to go through, dazzle the crowd, make them chant your name, and especially because you're on Kosir, he's got all that divine magic and all that hoopla. He's found a way with his magic to make the cheers of the crowd get a little bit of extra power to those who are in the arena. So, if you got the crowd's favor, you got a little extra backing. If you're boring old eyes, do this, and that, the crowd's gonna boo you, and the other team's gonna wipe you off the stage. But with that, though, if you can go through and beat all 4 rounds, you will be the champion of the fight for peace. And with that, Kosir's got some prizes. Kosir, out of his own divine generosity and all that, blah, 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 he's giving out gold. If you win the first round, you get 1,000 gold coins to split between your party. If you win the second round, double that up. Third round, add an extra 1,000. Fourth round, another 1,000, bring you up to 4,000 GC, along with a magic item of your choice that Kosir feels would be appropriate for beings of your skill.
Wow, that is certainly generous. Suddenly Will cares. But I did notice, didn't you say that there were 5 battles or 5 rounds, but you now have only spoken about 4. Is there another one involved?
No, just 4
or did I just hear you wrong?
Sure.
All right, never mind then.
The teams are 5 versus 5. This might have been what you're...
Right, maybe, I don't know.
I've heard legends of Kosir's tournaments 1,000 years ago. One was held, and to my knowledge, that is where the name of the grove came from.
You know your histories. I mean, you can make a name for yourself. And especially with all these Atarians, they need something fun to distract them. And the leaders will be coming. Unfortunately, they won't be putting in their own tournament people. So we need adventurers like you to go through and fight, entertain the crowds, rile them up, let them know, well, fighting can be fun. Let's fight and everybody go home. Fight and have a fight at the end of the day, whether you win or lose.
Of course. My very name is Mockery. I will be greatly entertaining, I promise you. And I hope to...
Did you have to do?
He goes, I like a promise. Kosir likes a promise too. But we do gotta, kind of make sure you can we won't get killed in the arena, or not killed. We don't want to get you stomped out and make everybody feel bad for you. We want you to come through and make sure you can compete. So, and he kind of whistles really loud. And he goes, hey, guys, get out of the circle. Get out of the circle. And kind of like shoos everybody away. He goes, take a drink with you, and snaps again as he makes these people move out of the way. And as he snaps, the people get drinks. The tables are moved. The sands are clear. He goes, okay, you don't got to win this fight, be good if you did. I mean, if you didn't win, I mean, I don't know if you want to compete. But the biggest thing with this fight, you gotta make it entertaining. You gotta get these rowdy drunkards, get them hyped up. You won't have the force of the crowd with you. I don't have Kosir's magic. But we can see if you can get the crowd moving and see how well you hold up against a beastie. Chug your beers. Get your weapons out. I don't know what you do. If you fight with your fist, fight with your fist. Who am I to judge?
Walker will get out his great sword, chug his beer.
Will is holding like a fancy wine, and he's like, "Chug it." What?
Sip it quickly. I mean,
Sip it quick.
Such a waste. And he's
You're drinking for two.
I get if you I'll get you another one. I'll get you one. Just keep these guys entertained.
All right. Will sort of like looks over at the rest of the group, like, listen, y'all, my power is relatively subtle. Nothing really flashy going on most of the time. It's mostly just like one person sees something horrible. So
What are you talking about? You create rings to shoot lasers. I
suppose that's true.
I have seen a shadow go overhead once. It was terrifying. You are possessed by an angel of light, Will.
I'll do my best.
You sparkle.
That is true. He looks at the camera. Ding.
Perfect. So with this, I'll be writing up kind of the full rules for it. You guys are doing like a little bit of a modified version for the tournament rules for this encounter. Basically, to win the favor of the crowd, you need to spend one action. And basically a skill of your choice, but it's got to be entertaining. And come up with a flavorful description of what you're doing. It's going to be basically on your on-level DC. So whatever you're describing on that side, as long as it's a skill or an action that sounds like it'll bring a crowd joy, you could attempt it. If you succeed, you only earn a point of crowd's favor. For this one, the crowd, I said, we're not doing the crowd. You won't be blessed by the crowd for their favor. But if you're in the tournament, you'll be competing with the other team for those points of favor, and which way it goes, who gets the bonus. For this one, you guys need to earn 5 points of crowd favor to be able to kind of progress on that side. 5 points, or if you beat the creature, 3 points as well. So if you beat the creature, it is a little less. But this will also be your first time going up a tough creature, a tougher creature because this will be a one-on-one fight too. So I'll go into that a little bit more as I introduce the creature. But one thing I do want to, I told you guys the prizes. These tournaments, as it's not to the death, will be very challenging. You all will be like, if you complete the tournament, get all that gold, it will be a very good accomplishment for the crew because these will be mostly. Severes will be on the low end. There will be mostly extremes. So be ready. But on this one is only a severe encounter. But as you do see him, as Arapo jumps out of the arena, you see he chugs the rest of his glass and throws it into the sands. And as you see it, like he snaps again as the mug starts to transform from its golden exterior. And you see one head pop out, and you see a lion, and you see another head from the stem pop out, and you see a snake, and you see another head pop out, and you find goat horns. And you see them all just wrap and form and grow until you see this chimera with just silver wings and golden eyes appear out from where that cup was thrown. And it goes. Yeah, this chimera. Kosir, yeah, he hooked us up with this. But yeah.
This is what people compare me to?
You kind of distraught. I mean, good thing, bad thing, I don't know. Hey, take it. But hey, you know, it won't kill you. I mean, I'm not going to let you die here. The Kosir would frown upon that. But it's as dangerous as a chimera. So, entertain the crowd. Don't look like losers, and yeah, let's have some fun with it.
I have two things that are not Surprisingly, not bits, but genuine questions. Firstly, I'd like to ask for the tournament, for entertaining the crowd. Is there also a way to heckle the opposing team to try and drop their affinity with the crowd a bit, such as making the crowd like us more from that, or directly dropping their their praise?
Yeah, you could definitely kind of play the heel and try to bring down their crowd favor.
Yeah, just wanted to establish that. And second, could Mockery roll performance for his initiative in this?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yippee!
Sweet. Let me get you guys into combat. Oh yeah, roll initiative, guys. Oh, let me make sure he's visible.
Ah, looks bad. Maybe make it invisible again.
Yeah,
I don't know if I want to see it.
So, big thing. 5 successes on this side with your skill check on level DC. I think DC 20 for level 5. So with that, you guys will earn the favor and get a chance to compete with the group and then see if you can beat the creature as well. Sweet. So, yeah, kick it off. You see this chimera head bobbing, just all three snapping, just glaring out with its golden eyes. But Belric, you are up first.
Okay. So spend one action. Sorry, I haven't done anything like this before. So spend an action potentially to get the crowd going.
Yeah, so kind of anything for one of your skills, anything that you think could get a crowd hype, get a crowd entertained.
Yeah. Okay. Knowing what he knows about where he is and who who just got this going, Belric is going to pour his beer out, and the crowd, I would imagine, would boo. And then he's gonna go to the keg that's on Bear, and then he's gonna pour a drink, and then he's gonna chug the drink from Bear. And then he's gonna do, I would say, like for a dwarf, something surprisingly acrobatic, like to jump and like leap onto Bear, like flip onto Bear acrobatically after he chugs the drink.
All right, give me an acrobatics check as you pour a beer out, chug a new one, and flip.
So you poured the satyr's drink away, the drink from the bear, and you mounted. God, that's cool.
You see, like the crowd's like boo, boo. You see, even Arapo looks like a little like frowning as like his beer gets poured out. But as you drink a new beer, like the crowd like goes quiet for a second, but it erupts after you flip and land on Bear. Yeah, so you've got your 2 actions left, and you've earned your first point of crowd favor.
Okay, and then with that, I am going to.
Oh, also, I forgot to mention this. Also, for the guys, I'll be writing this in the Discord over the weekend. I think I may even make this available too for outside or for viewers as well. If you crit fail, you lose a point. I forgot to mention that.
I will do Hunter's Edge.
Right.
I'm assuming my bow's drawn, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I'll do Hunter's Edge on the Chimera, and then I am going to precision. What is it? I'll shoot twice. Hunted shot at it twice. No.
Okay.
Shot 1.
You see the lion head snatch the arrow out of the air and crush it.
Okay. Well, I will try again. Mounted on the bear, and I shouldn't be mounted. Equilibrium's off. He chugged a beer, he flipped on, and he's like, oh, whoa.
Oh no.
You see the crowd, like they're cheering, but they're a little quieter as the thing snatches the arrow and the shot fails. And also, I'll be honest, I'm going to write this all up too, but the thing is, the crowd favor is a flourish. So you can only do one of those per turn, pretty much.
I see. What about? I do want to bring up very quickly. I assume our animal companions cannot try and please the crowd.
So it's flourish. So one for you and your companion. But if you wanted to have your companion be the one that uses its action to do something cool, you can definitely do that.
That's actually pretty sick.
Hard part though is the companions have lower skills than the party, and the DC is still going to be the same.
Yeah.
Bosteria, you're up.
All right, so first I'm going to try to recall knowledge, figure out the Chimera's weakest saving throw.
All right. Unfortunately, you struggle to get a read on this Chimera. You heard they're not that bright, maybe, but like it's kind of hard for you to put that through. Like maybe they're not the strongest will, but you really can't get a good read upon them. And unfortunately, it is not off guard.
All right, I'm going to draw my repeating crossbow, kind of raise it up high, and like cock the lever to get it prepared for a shot. As I say, this here is a Juba bow, a new invention by a native of Eteria. It's going to revolutionize warfare. You've never seen a weapon like it before, and I'm going to try to roll crafting to impress them with this unique and interesting weapon.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
I was wondering how you could use crafting, and I just learned. So well done.
Nice.
Solid. You see the crowd kind of oohing and eyeing as they see the bow and kind of leaning forward to see how it'll look in action.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take a shot to follow up with that promise.
Oy,
Ugh.
6 misses. Yikes.
You see this creature is fairly tough, but you do have the crowd kind of roaring on your side. For out of game, this will be your first time going up against a +3 creature from your level. Usually I've done +2s with some minions. This is kind of your first. It's only severe, but still a hard boss fight there. Was that three? That was 3 actions from Wisteria, right? Sweet.
Yeah.
I forgot to have the great sword drawn.
What's that?
I forgot to have the great sword drawn.
Oh, no worries. All right, Jeet, you are up.
Okay. Most likely, I'll be delaying my turn. But just to confirm with you, we can't get the flourish points just by like doing our regular stuff, right? Like it has to be a dedicated action for it.
It has to be a dedicated action.
All right, yeah. Then I'll delay my turn to right after the chimeras.
All right. You see the chimera begins to beat its wings. You see it howl out from all 3 of its heads, and it starts to fly closer to the gavels. You see it just coming closer and closer, and you see it just get in front of you. You see all 3 of its heads rear back, and it is going to cast, or not going to cast, it is going to breathe fire upon you. So you see this cone of flames emerging from its mouth, cone of cone emerging from its mouth, this frosty bits of just vapor and energy coalescing. You see a frost begin to form along its nostrils. It leans its head back and unleashes the cold upon you, this withering wind of ice. Let me see. I'm not sure how many of you I can hit.
I don't know if this is intentional or if it's a problem, but I do not see any of the initiative tracking stuff on my screen.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it in the encounters tab.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah,
You
I
guys-
can see it all.
Oh. I feel like usually it's like a separate area, like towards the top you can see, but yeah. See it
Oh,
encountered as
the
well.
top carousel. Yeah, there's no top carousel, but there's like encounter tracker and then.
Oh, weird. Yeah, the thing. I tried to go to version 12 for Pathfinder 2e. It didn't work, so I had to back down to version, or for Foundry, I should say. I had to back down to 11, so I'm not sure if the combat carousel is being weird now. But yeah, the counter tab, we should have everybody's initiative in there.
Oh, that looks like it hits everyone.
So that does. So everybody give me a DC 26 reflex save.
Mockery. 26.
When I spend a hero point, or
Yikes.
nope.
Gonna use a reaction here. Mockery's going to use Iron Command.
All right, it's gonna stay high and proud. So are you doing persistent or
Persistent.
all right? That's rough. I think everybody fails.
It'd
Sorry,
be,
what's that?
I was about to say, it'd be pretty embarrassing if we lost this in like the second round.
But it's good
It
preparation.
didn't qualify for the tournament.
As you see, kind of just blares through you, just this icy torrent of just sickles just cutting through your bones, cutting through you. You all take 30 damage from the onslaught. The crowd is hushed as the savage creature unleashes. The Mockery, you are up.
It's actually
Oh, sorry. Pete.
yeah.
Yes, you're up. Yeah.
Okay, how high above the ground is this creature?
Oh, it's on the ground.
Okay, cool. All right, good. Good. So, I will do Athletic Rush. Oh, no, I should have enough focus points. Hold on, just reimbursing myself. 1, 2. Okay, yes. Athletic Rush to leap on top of it. I don't know if that's even possible. Actually, I should have looked up the rules for climbing onto creatures. But for mechanical purposes, we can say that I'm going to like this square or something. Hold on, right here. So, why isn't it doing that? Why isn't it pinging? Okay, if you see my cursor, am I on? Right. Yeah. So somewhere here.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Yeah, so I'm not sure the climbing creatures rule, but definitely for the flavor. But give me an athletics check, see how that looks.
getting some Dragon's Dogma vibes.
Right. Oh, just dragging that onto myself because I do get the bonus. Yeah, and then that.
Nice. Yeah, you are able to leap up. How does that look for Jude as he goes through?
It's just like burst, a little bit burst of flame from below his feet as he goes right, soaring like above some of the heads of this chimera and landing right there. So wait, could I have gone further? 10, 15. Yes, I could do 15 feet leap now, so I'll just do over there because of the plus N move speed. And then from there, I will attempt to grab onto the tiger head. So there's a grapple check.
All right. You got so it's a large creature, and I think you've got Titan Wrangler, don't you?
Yes.
Sweet. All right. Give me another athletics check.
Okay, so this one, grapple. Where are you? Okay, yeah, that's fair. I will use my hero point on this one.
All right.
It can go lower, but no, not by a lot. All right. And then for my last action, what I will try to do is just let go of the bastard sword with one hand. So that, well, actually, I had to do that for the grapple anyway. So with my free hand, I will attempt to punch this creature.
Nice.
But as I do that, I'm actually also still trying to grab it. So this one is very unlikely, but shit!
Oh my goodness!
All right.
Got him.
Combat grab.
Yeah, all right. That much damage, and I grab it.
Is that crit damage?
Oh,
it's
sorry,
time-
no, that wasn't. That was just regular damage. Yeah, you can just double that, I think.
Yeah. So how's it look as you like smash him and grab him?
Yeah. They're very agile and responsive. So like the first grab misses. So the second time I go for the grab, turn it into a punch, and just like punch under the tiger head's jaw. And then when it's slightly dazed, that's when I use the momentum and grab it. And I think I've just let go of my sword completely. I'm just like now holding onto this creature now. So that's my turn.
Nice.
And with that, you guys, 3 of your crowd points. Mockery, you are up.
All right. Mockery's
boy.
going to be doing a couple things this turn. First of all, Dread Martial Stance. So intimidation we go. And I had forgot to set my intimidation to expert. Like a dummy. Or perhaps I did before and it got changed back. Either way, I had forgotten to. So I'll roll. Oh,
Nice.
Wow.
So-
Hey.
with Dread Martial Stance, that's actually a crit does affect it.
Yeah, it makes your thing brighter or larger.
Yep. So, in part with this, Mockery will also be using an action. He'll be using his Shifting Greatsword and using an action to change it into its alternate form.
Okay.
Mm,
Which
mm.
Nice.
is a hammer that looks like a gavel.
Ooh.
Two-handed gavel. And lastly, will be his attempt to impress the crowd, as Mockery does his usual thing, like bringing up his sword high, like he's about to dedicate it to one of the gods, but instead he yells out, "I dedicate this combat to the gavels of Viva Stera! Hear us and know our name! We are legends in the making!" As his sword becomes a gavel, shifting like living metal, as he slams it into the ground. Just trying to show off the might of the gavels to let them know. And I would like to use for this, would you say diplomacy or performance would be better?
High performance on this one.
Yeah.
Solid. You see the crowd cheers, especially as the sword shifts and the sand kind of billows up behind you.
Unfortunately, that means Mocker is not doing any damage this turn, but sick as hell. And that also
sick.
means everyone, including Jeet, is in the range of Dread Martial Stance, so a +2 to damage. Love to see it. That'll be Mockery's turn.
Nice. Will, you are up. You're muted.
All right, when this creature like sort of breathes its cold breath over all of us, I imagine it's like a cloud of like mist coming out of its mouth. And so like when when that wave of mist engulfs all of us, like Will is like going like this, and he's speaking in his own voice. But then when the mist clears, he is standing tall. His eyes are golden bright, and it is now Rashanael speaking. And she just says, "How dare you?" And I am going to first activate. This isn't gonna, actually have a mechanical effect on the crowd, but I think the crowd might be impressed. I'm going to first use one action to cast Angelic Halo, because I'm gonna need to in a second after this. Angelic Halo. Which means that all healing in the area is buffed in an emanation around me. And then I am, with my next 2 actions, going to cast... Hold on, did they have to? Yeah, they have to. All this stuff requires them to speak a language with me, and I don't think this thing speaks Celestial. So I am going to just cast Fear on it, I think.
All right.
Ooh.
Casting
it's
it from, and this is being cast from my staff. So it has a +1 to the DC.
Nice.
Oh, no!
It'll succeed.
Wait.
But still,
Wait, with the +1, that's a fail.
Oh, nice. All right, so it will fail. It is frightened too.
And since it's within the Mockery's aura, it ain't reducing that past 0.
Nice. How does that look?
This time, like the creature just hears everyone supernaturally loud just hears Rashawn Ayel say, "How dare you?" And the creature, nobody else sees this, but the creature just sees on the horizon a shadow arising, huge, potentially blocking out the sun.
Nice. All right, Elric, you are up. Oh, you're muted.
Still mute.
Still muted. Oh, also, Tegan, could you give the camera the grabbed condition? So it'll
Oh, yeah.
automatically do it. Just... Okay, I think Belric wants Wisteria to go before him.
Oh, it is. Okay, all right. Well, Wisteria, you are up.
Alrighty. So I'm gonna stride over this way, and as I'm walking, like the frost breath of the dragon kind of covered the ground a bit. So I'm gonna try to like slide on the ice, and at the end of the movement, I'm gonna try to do a flip forward and mid-air shoot the chimera. So using a stride, entertain, and attack for my 3 actions.
Sweet.
So I'll roll for the entertain first. I'll throw it on the acrobatics if that sounds good to you.
Yeah.
20.
That will succeed.
Nice.
We're at 5. We're at the max. So long
And
as
then,
we fail, we'll stay at the max.
then I'll take my shot. It's frightened, which I think it does automatically.
And off guard, yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, this guy's
Nice.
There's some damage.
Oops.
Traitor, she shot Belric.
So how does that all look?
Yes, I kind of start moving and like slide across the ice, and then just before I get to the edge of the ice, I jump and use the momentum to flip, and then like with one hand kind of shoot, and then land and quickly reload crank it to get ready for the next shot as it catches the creature on the side opposite where Jeets grabbed onto it.
Nice. All right. I think, Belric, I think we can hear you. You're up.
Got me?
You can?
All right. Nice work, Wisteria. Sorry about that. And I am going to... so we just got blasted with... This is kind of foolish, but I'm going to do it. We just got blasted with all that ice, and I'm mounted on Bear. I'm going to kind of like... I'm going to have all this ice in my beard. And then I'm just going to reach under Bear, and then I'm going to pour more beer, and then I'm going to smack my beard and put a bunch of ice into the drink, and then I'm going to chug it. And I would assume that would be some sort of performance.
No, definitely performance on that one.
Nice. Okay, well. And I will spill it everywhere.
Oh no.
You have your beard, a few chunks of the beard fall out.
Oh no. It like broke off with the ice.
And
Oh,
the
there's
crowd, when they
hair
were
in his
cheering, they're
drink.
shouting Gamble's name, and they go like, ooh.
Not a good look.
A little quiet there. But luckily, you do have 2 actions left, but the crew is now down to 4 successes.
All right, my bad, guys. I am going to use 2 actions to enlarge my companion.
Nice.
So I'm just gonna cast it. I don't really know how this.
I just realized it's a piece of a fucking crab. For a large companion, it's a crab.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Sorry, I'm trying to
Oh, it's...
put enlarge on there. There it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
I dragged my angelic halo effect onto myself, and it added the status effect 4 times. The spell effect, I mean.
So Bear does get 1 attack. Since he's large, he's right near him, and he is going to strike. He's gonna claw at him. All right, let me target him real quick. Claw.
Nice.
All right. Nice.
So how does that look as Bear gets large and just smacks the shit out of the Chimera? Oh, we lost you again. There you go. Oh. No worries. Yeah, so you see Bear come through and just take like this vicious just claw across the Chimera, blood falling everywhere, and then the crowd is definitely momentarily appeased after the shock of seeing part of Belric's beard fall out. But the Chimera is up.
Real fast, I think we forgot to do the persistent mental damage for it last round.
Oh, we did. Yeah, give me GD6.
And once it gets to the end of this round, it'll take 2d6 plus 2, thanks to the Dread Martial Aura.
And check your thing. There should be a way for you to apply persistent to it, so it just does it automatically.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, make sure you get that feat. I don't know if you have to click the feat versus your usual thing, but there should be a way for it to go through and put the persistent on it.
Let me
Oh yeah, I forgot it's grab, so it can't move, right? Yeah, it's immobilized. Yeah. Sweet Subjeet, you do see it turn its full focus upon you. You see all 3 of its heads begin to just start like one, like the lion is howling, the dragon has roar, the goat just bays, and it's going to use 3-headed strike. So with that, it is going to get to make all 3 heads attack. It has a -2 to each head versus the usual multi-attack penalty.
And the frightened, come on, frightened, help
Dragon
me out
Joe.
here. Help, yes, yes, frightened. Okay, I'll take that one.
go torn.
This
Yes.
is a line Joel critically miss. And luckily the Dragon Jaws missed because they were the nasty one. Yeah, you see this goat horde just ram into you for 14 damage as it kind of pierces in. And you see it looks surprised and dismayed that you've got, like it thought it would just pretty much just bite and throw you off. It looks like just thrown off of its game, but it is going to try and claw you once at -10 MA or -8 MAB. And it will miss. You see kind of claws flare out, and that is its turn.
All right. Yeah. He's like bleeding, but he's not yet letting it go. At the end of my turn, the grab will automatically end unless I refresh it. So the first thing he'll do is heal himself. Can't get me down yet. And I think I'm in Wilzora.
I would say so.
just
I
think you're right
Or-
outside of it.
I think you're
Or just
outside.
slightly outside of it. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Mom, my bad.
Do I? Yeah. In that case, I'll just heal without the aura. And oh, thank goodness.
Nice.
I don't think I could withstand another set of three-headed strikes. Yes, heal up, and then for the last one, instead of going for the grab, he will go for the trip.
Oh, also, sorry. Before you cast that heal.
Manipulate.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it does have the manipulate. Yes, so let me undo that
Well,
first.
with the melee strike, it doesn't say which one it has to use. It doesn't. It's going to go horny again.
The
All right.
what?
Oh, that's a crit. No, not a crit. That's a hit. No, not a crit.
Oh,
24
cool.
AC.
Oh, it didn't
Alright.
apply the. I don't think it mattered, but it didn't apply the fear.
Oh, it's your friend one.
Okay, that takes me down.
Oh.
Oof.
All right, my turn moves before its, and that's my turn.
All right. Mockery, you are up.
Seeing
It is
Will go,
no longer trapped.
not Will. Seeing Jeet go down, Mockery's eyes focus in as he's just like, "All right, we need to." And he looks around like, "We got this." And he's going to whistle to his hyena and have it start flanking around. And the hyena is going to use its support action. That being, if Mockery hits. Oh wait, no, I don't need to do that. It's already frightened. Never
It's
mind.
already friend one.
So yeah, let's Mockery's going to can we run that back just a little bit so Mockery could step and then command this hyena?
Yep.
Alright. He'll do so and have the hyena attack with its jaws. 23 with the friend one.
Unfortunately, you see the chimera just throw its wings and throw the hyena off its game.
Alright. Next up is Mockery and his strike. Oh, where'd his sheet go? There it is. And he is going to strike it with his maul.
Nice.
Alright. And strike. Let me actually target the I almost forgot to. There we go.
That'll hit.
Heck yeah. Oh, and I don't think we rolled the persistent damage for the end of its turn. I tried dragging it onto there, but it told me I didn't have permission to edit that after.
Okay. So we roll that persistent, and obviously I can throw that on for it.
It's got a +2 to damage now.
Nice.
Let's see here.
Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Fixed.
So yeah, that is a 16 damage from Mockery.
Solid. Now roll me 2d6.
D6 +2. That is rough. But still, 5 damage is 5 damage.
So you see the chimera hollering out in pain. It's looking bloodied from your guys' assaults. And Will, you are up.
All right. Will is going to take a step forward with my first action. And then, Jeet, you are going to hear a voice in your head. And it says, "You have been blessed by the gods. You cannot be felled." And you are going to, I'm going to use my free max level heal on you with 2 actions.
Thank you.
And you are inside the aura.
Nice.
Sweet. I get to keep the bloodline spell too. All right. So, God, it's so much HP. I can't even like verify the math. Right. Here we go.
Nice.
Nice.
It's actually a low roll. Dang. Okay. And then I'm trying to like make sure the math was right. Plus 24. I just want to make sure it was including the angelic halo because I don't know if it did that or not. My turn is
I think
done.
so. Yeah, I think that's still 8 times 3. So angelic halo would be how much more?
Angelic halo would be an additional.
Looks like it adds 6 to it.
Yeah, an additional 6 hit points.
Awesome.
Yeah, it'll be automatic for you.
Oh, it did. Yes, angelic halo plus 6. Oh, nice.
Oh, it did. Oh, sweet, cool. All right, well, that is my turn
Nice.
because I don't want Jeet to die.
Huge.
Wisteria, you are up.
All right. We still have 4 times please the crowd.
That's right.
So if you allow this, Wisteria's going to do something a little bit uncharacteristic of herself so far. She's going to dig deep into her orcish roots and give like a traditional battle cry, shouting out with the fury of an orc. And maybe some people in the crowd might have heard of the raiders on the coast and recognize it, but certainly. So I'm trying to go for orc lore if you'll allow it, but if not, I can do an intimidation check. Although,
Yeah, our car will work.
cool. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Let's see. And then I'm gonna take a shot at the Chimera.
He's so frightened.
So afraid.
I'm gonna hero point that.
All right.
There we go.
Better.
And then I'll take a second shot. Dang. And that's my turn.
You see the Chimera of blood starting to stain the sands as the arrows start to pile up. And Barik, you are up.
Okay. I am going to begin my turn by commanding animal.
All right.
And I'm going to have Bear similar but different from Wisteria. Bear is going to make a much, much louder and more aggressive roar, having been enlarged. And he's going to do an intimidation check.
Nice.
Maybe get the crowd going. And
Solid. You get the fifth success on that side. Bears roars, echoes through. You see some of the crowd even kind of jump back and seem frightful. And even the Chimera takes notice as you guys re-earn your last success on that side. Yeah, you've got 2 actions left.
all right, and I am going to do. I don't know if I'm using this right. I'm going to use the bear support benefit.
Okay.
Each time you hit a creature in the bear's reach with a strike, the creature takes 8 damage. Does that mean everyone?
Just you.
Okay. Well. All right. So then from there, that would have been. You get 2 shots, right? Commanded animal. I commanded the actual animal. And then I am going to hunted strike. I'm going to shoot him twice.
Shoot him up.
Shoot him up.
That'll hit.
All right. I'm going to do the damage here so I don't forget about all this stuff. That didn't add the D8 yet, right?
It did,
I need to do.
Oh, nice.
That'll be that, and then this will be my second attack. It'll be a miss, and that'll be my turn.
It misses, but how does it look with Bear and Belric kind of striking in tandem with that bow shot?
Yeah, Bear makes a roar and makes some visible damage. The crowd goes wild, and then from there, yeah, he takes a shot, and then right away, Bear just swipes at him, and yeah, does a nice amount of damage.
Nice. Jeet, you are up. You are on the ground.
You're up.
All right. Okay, let's have to switch screens a little bit. All right, so G will use an action to stand up. So back up to standing now.
He is going to use an attack of opportunity upon you.
Does he have his reaction back since he knocked me down?
Ooh, opportunity. So you see, you try to stand back up, and then Goldhorns try to knock you back down.
Oh, okay. 2 extra. Wow. Okay. Ooh, that's gonna hurt.
Oh no.
Wait, Will, did your whammy thing apply on attack rolls?
I think it's just
Okay.
saving throws.
Still technically up, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
crap. Hold on. It does work on attack rolls. But he's still up, so I'm going to save it.
Okay.
I'm going to save it to save his life.
okay. And that's a crit, but I believe crit only interrupts manipulate, doesn't interrupt move action.
Yeah, you're good to stand up. As long as you keep your HP, you're good on that one. Yeah.
Okay, wow, I should just step away, really. That would be the smart thing to do. Will I do the smart thing right now? Or will I not? I will...
I will say
Okay.
it looked pretty rough, but its turn is up next.
Yeah, and I'm looking pretty rough now. Those guys are nearby. I'm nearby. All I need to do is heal a little. All right, we'll stick around for a moment here. I trust my companions. So this is going to be I'm up. So first I will go for the trip attempt.
Nice.
Let's see. We go here. We try for a raw trip.
Got
Oh my goodness! I'll take that damage too. Yeah. It's prone. Okay. Now I will bravely step away, and that will be my turn.
As you throw the chimera down to the ground, get back, but it is its turn. It is going to, it's going to stand up. I don't think any of you guys, do you guys have attack of opportunity? No, level 5, so 6 is first time Mockery can get it. So he is going to stand up with one of his actions, and you see his heads fall back again, ice beginning to form. He's going to cast or use his breath weapon. Luckily, you guys spread out a little bit more this time.
I believe in myself. I got the thing. I buffed myself slightly.
Nice. He can't hit Mockery. So everybody, give me a reflex saving throw. Or Will, Belric, and Bear, I should say.
All right. Hold on. I need to drag an effect onto myself so that it will apply to this saving throw real quick. Because it's still lasting from my previous turn. and I forgot to drag the effect onto myself. But my whenever I cast either heal or angelic halo, I get a +1 status bonus to saving throws.
Nice. All right.
Sorry, what's saving throw?
Reflex.
Sick.
Nice.
That's bad. It's very bad.
You will crit succeed. So Belric, you take nothing on this side. Bear is going to crit fail. He's going to take crit fail. He will take double. And Will, you just take straight up.
There's no way I survived this.
Yeah, Will goes down. Bear
goes down.
But Belric, yeah, you're good. As you see him go through, just breathe this torrent of pure ice shards and just cold breath. You see Bear and Will succumb to the cold as you see the Chimera just bleeding upon the sands. But Mockery, you are up. Oh, I forgot about the persistent damage. I don't know why I rolled 3 times. Yeah. He is looking rough as you see him start to bleed from all of his nostrils as that damage comes in. All right, Mockery.
I was muted. Mockery, for his turn, is immediately going to be casting a spell. This thing has a snake tail. Mockery has a snake tail.
All right. What spell?
The only spell he has. Touch of Corruption. This thing doesn't have negative healing, right?
You see its dragon jaws come snapping out at you.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I forgot about that part. Oh, no. Oh,
Luckily,
no.
crit, but a hit.
Yep.
You see him bite into you, crushing into your skin, and just this icy chill flow through you.
All right, down pretty hard.
Can I ask why that happened?
Attack of opportunity.
Because he used a spell with the manipulate trait, and this guy has attack of opportunity, and then he also has triple threat too.
Yep.
Or triple opportunity, whatever it's called.
Versus
You're still standing, it looks like.
Yep. He needs to succeed a basic save of 21 fortitude. If he...
You'll succeed, but it's a basic save, so you still do half damage.
Yep. So let's roll that half damage. 9. So 5.
Okay. Yeah, this thing is barely holding on. It's bleeding. It's staggering. Do you have anything left to take it down?
Plenty. Monker's going to use an action to command the hyena. And the hyena's going to strike out part with its jaws.
Nice.
Once.
Woo! That'll hit. Luckily, you just need the one hit. I couldn't remember if Pathfinder rounded up or down. It had 5 HP. The 4 would have brought it to 1. So how does hyena finish it?
So Mockery, his snake tail strikes out towards it, trying to enfeeble it somewhat, but it strikes out at the same time, nearly bringing him down, and the hyena takes the opportunity, grabs it by its Achilles heel on its back leg, and just with a twist, brings it down with a surprising show of force. And just it doesn't get back up after that one. For a crit of 14.
Nice. Yeah, you see as it goes down, the crowd goes wild. You see Arapo jump up on the table again. He
He has an action left.
What's that?
He has an action left. Let's rally the crowd.
We already have it at max, and we won.
Overkill.
Overkill.
This is for Arapo.
Hell, he could lose one.
Perhaps not overkill.
I am bleeding out
Maybe
right behind you.
humbly take
Yeah.
our win.
Perfect. You see Arapo jump up and he goes, "The Gavels of Evisera will be competing in Kosir's Fight for Peace. Make sure you come and get to see them live." You see him snap his fingers again, and you guys feel kind of this divine magic flowing through you. Belrick's still conscious, but Bear and Will, you guys feel this just kind of warmth, feel you like that warmth where you've like had like that first shot, just kind of like that burning, kind of like just nice, little sting, but nice warmth. You come back to being the rest of you guys. Your wounds disappear. You see the Chimera after that Achilles is ripped down. You see it turn right back into a cup and fly back into Arapo's hand, and he goes, you all entertained the crowd. It was looking a little dicey for you. I thought you all may not bring it back, but you did it. And you see him snap his hands one more time, and you see coins appear in your hands. Just tournament coins to the competitors. Wherever you are, day of the tournament, tap on it, it'll bring you to the tournament. So, you're in. There is, if you do make yourselves to the tournament grounds a week early, there is a festival that we'll be holding. Kosir won't be able to make it himself, but we're trying to bring some of the nobles and other people from Kazia, get a chance for everybody to meet and greet and talk. So if you get a chance, come through. If you're not, do you. But you all, I thought you all, I thought I was gonna, when that first breath went off, I thought I was gonna have to maybe resurrect one of you, but you didn't.
Oh, we could have handled this thing no problem. We just wanted to make a good show of it. It's not exciting if we just immediately kill it with no challenge.
Yeah, that's a spirit. That's a spirit. But you see snaps to get it. For those who wanted water, for those who want a good drink after that, salute. You see him raise his glass to you and kind of just chug it through. But as you guys look around too in the crowd, the people are cheering, they are shouting gavels. But you do see a familiar face in the crowd as well. You see, it's been a while since you've actually seen him in person, but you do see Velvet in the crowd as well. Kind of carrying like a pretty ornate looking wine glass and kind of doing like the polite golf clap as you guys kind of revel in your victory. He does make eyes with you guys. He kind of like jerk his head, but kind of leaves you guys to revel in your celebration. But definitely kind of that see me when you're done look. And that's where we'll wrap up today. So next session we'll pick up. We are going to be getting into Wisteria and Will's archetype adventure, which will be a bit more intrigue. Depending on what you guys do, most likely won't be too combat heavy, but a little bit of intrigue, a little more insight into Will, Wisteria, and a bit of a social engagement. So everybody check us out. We're not playing next week, so that'll be on the 27th as we get back into that and get to see how that plays out for the crew. And then I'll be posting more information on the tournament rules. But yeah, the fights will be kind of this difficulty or greater, I'll say. So keep that in mind as you guys go through. Consumables are allowed. Basically, whatever you all can do for teamwork, tactics allowed. Unfortunately, preparatory spells aren't allowed. You can cast anything you can cast in the arena, but outside of that, you could bring in any item you can. So come through and think about that, because there's some pretty good prizes. And Valor does have an opportunity. Well, it has a couple opportunities for this group as well, which we'll get into at the start of next session. Yeah, so everybody, until next time.